high cliffs of Mali, where the sun carves shadows on ancient stone, a people watched the skies. They didn't have telescopes. They didn't read star charts. But somehow, they knew. They are called the Dogon, and long before the West discovered Sirius B, a star invisible to the naked eye, the Dogon already spoke of it in stories passed down from elder to child. High on the Bandiagara escarpment, where earth meets sky, an elder sits beneath a baobab tree. Around him, children listen, wide-eyed. "There is a star," he says, "that is so heavy it hides itself, so small it is like a grain of fonio, but it pulls on the great shining one beside it. They dance together every 50 years. That elder is not a scientist, but what he just described is Sirius B, a white dwarf star no one in Europe had ever seen until the 1800s. The Dogon people are farmers, artisans, and spiritual custodians of their land. For centuries, they've lived in harmony with the rocks and dust of central Mali. Their homes cling to cliffs like birds' nests. Their masked dances speak of gods and ancestors. But their true magic, if you can call it that, is their memory. A memory so old, it remembers the stars. Now, let's talk about Sirius, the brightest star in our night sky. What most people don't know is that Sirius is not just one star. It's a binary system. One big, brilliant star, Sirius A, and its tiny, invisible companion, Sirius B, a white dwarf. Sirius B is so dense that a teaspoon of it would weigh over 5 tons. It can't be seen without a telescope. Scientists in Europe only confirmed its existence in the 1860s. But the Dogon? They described it centuries ago. The Dogon call Sirius B Potolo, the star of the deep or the small seed. They say it is the heaviest thing in the sky. They say it orbits Sirius A every 50 years. Modern science? It agrees with that orbital period almost exactly. And there's more. The Dogon spoke of another star, Emaya, a third companion to Sirius. Scientists are still debating its existence. But how did the Dogon even know to look? Now let's ask the big question. How did the Dogon know all this without telescopes? There are theories. Some believe the Dogon were influenced by ancient Egyptians who also tracked Sirius. Others think French anthropologists who first documented the Dogon stories in the 1930s might have misunderstood or projected too much. And a few jump straight to aliens, which we don't need here. But maybe the answer is simpler and more human. In African tradition, memory is not written in books. It is danced, it is sung, it is told around fires, guarded like treasure. The Dogons say they received this knowledge during the Sigi festival, a ceremony held only once every 60 years. During Sigi, the village unearths the old wisdom. They carve new masks. They retell the origin of the universe. Maybe, just maybe, what we call discovery. They called remembering. Imagine this, a ceremony that lasts years, one that only happens once in a lifetime. That's the Sigwi. Every 60 years, the Dogon hold this cosmic festival to align with Sirius B's cycle. They carve masks to represent the cosmos, perform rituals to realign the world, and pass down the story of creation, stars, and seeds. No one writes it, but no one forgets it. The Dogon don't just observe the stars. They live with them. Today, the Dogon still farm, still build, still remember. Tourists come, scholars ask questions, cameras flash. But the true story? It's still whispered under the baobab, between the millet fields, behind a dancer's mask. It says, "We saw the stars. We knew their names. Before you measured them, we honored them." So what does this teach us? Not that the Dogon had magic, not that we need myths to fill the gaps, but that wisdom can come from anywhere. From a quiet people on a high cliff, from a star you can't see, from a child listening to an elder's tale. The Dogon remind us there is more than one way to look at the sky. And if you ever find yourself beneath the stars of Africa, look up. Maybe, just maybe, you'll feel the pull of Potolo too. Folktales connect us to our past, shape our present, and guide our future. African Folktales by Kavovi is more than just storytelling. It's a bridge between yesterday and tomorrow, between tradition and modernity. Subscribe now and be part of the journey. Like, comment, and share to help keep these stories alive. This is African Folktales by Kavovi, where the past speaks and the future listens.